Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining me today. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Emperor. And whenever the Emperor comes up in a reading, I I read it as, of course, this is a leader. It's someone who makes decisions, um, all those things. But it's like you need to be the leader in your own life. You need to take charge of your own life. No excuses why someone else won't let you do something, why you can't do something. Um, no living your life for other people's approval. This is really about responsibility and accountability for your life, your happiness, what you're doing in your life, and really owning it and taking charge. Now these are really cool cards. They have they're two-sided, and they're pretty new to me, so I haven't really studied every side. But you have the Sun. That's Leo to me. There's a flame here. The Moon's in there as well. I don't know what that block is, though. But it's a mindset. It's like getting your head around. It's kind of like no more excuses. Time to step up. Time to take charge and make the life that you want, that you dream, and making it happen. And with the Hierophant, so right after the Emperor, we have the major arcana, the Hierophant. And this is often read as tradition, but I really see the Hierophant as any sort of place that you get wisdom and spiritual guidance. And this can literally be from, if you're go to church or temple or whatever, the leader of your religious community. It could be someone like, I don't know, Oprah, or the people she has on her show. It could be any sort of place where you get an astrologer, any sort of place where you get sort of spiritual guidance. But I feel like you can also get the most wisdom out of just everyday experiences and everyday interactions and places where you least expect it. And even from your children. And my son's been one of my greatest teachers ever. And so being able to, when you're in a situation, gain the perspective, find the lesson in it. And it's interesting. The baby has a key. That's the key to your spiritual growth. These cards are just really, really cool. The word, we have the Tower coming up. I said I wasn't going to read card for card because I feel like I get my intuition, my flow gets trapped, but I've already started doing it, and it does flow nicely because the Tower's here. So this is a shakeup. This is a breakdown. This is a breakthrough. And what's so cool about this card in this deck, if you look at it from this side, it's like, oh my God, this amazing tower has come down. It got struck by lightning. But when you look at the back, it's like it was a facade. It was not structurally sound. It reminds me of the Soviet Union. The former Soviet Union would build these like huge factories, and they'd literally be shells. They'd be empty inside. It was just to sort of show their grandeur, but the substance wasn't there. So the Tower's experience is always a good thing because it shows you that, it can be horrible. Say you or your relationship breaks up. But then when you really, look back and get perspective and look at the wisdom of a situation, you can say, you know what? That person really didn't treat me well. I really wasn't happy. You know what I mean? Like, we weren't going to be able to go the distance. It wasn't sustainable. So it brings down those things that are not truly sustainable, which allows us to move on. Excuse me. So that's what this Six of Swords is. It's moving on from a situation that wasn't serving us, that was um, sometimes mentally abusive, at a minimum, mentally exhausting and stressful. I'm sorry. And even emotionally stressful. So moving from rough waters to calm waters. So yes, you may have to go through the tower, but you're better off in the long run. These experiences are usually, in retrospect, we're like, oh my God, thank God this happened. My best friend, she got married fairly young, and her husband cheated on her, and her marriage fell apart. Not a whole, pretty shortly after her son was born. And she was in her 20s and her 30s, diagnosed with MS. She's met a new person. He's one of the most amazing people in the world. He's just a fantastic human being. And we look back and we've had this conversation. Thank God he cheated on you in that marriage, because he would have never been able to support you the way you need and deserve to be supported with an illness like multiple sclerosis. So it's just funny how things work out. You know what I mean? And it can be hard to have that perspective in the moment, but in the long run, you can see that it was the best thing for you. And so in the wake of that, though, and these can be small things too, don't get me wrong. I'm just picking, some easy examples. They can be much smaller things, like you didn't get a promotion, or you didn't get a job you applied for. And then you find out that, that person's horrible to work for, or a new job comes along and it's a better opportunity, a better salary, you find out it's a great place to work. So this is a beautiful new beginning in how you earn your money, your career, where you live, your health, your spirituality, anything like that. So you could be, maybe this could be like a real estate deal that fell through, and then you find out like that house had tons of work that needed to be done, like the electric needed work, the plumbing, like things you couldn't see. So make sure you get an inspection. Make sure you get sometimes even it's worth having an actual builder come, because sometimes house inspectors, in my opinion, some of them, someone who actually builds houses can sometimes detect things even better than someone that's just coming in and making sure the oven worked. And again, I'm not diminishing house inspectors, but if you're, just make sure that you're buying what you're buying. Around here, they'll build houses with 2x4 construction, and I'm in Vermont, so you really need 2x6 with good insulation, studs 16. What do they say? 16 on center. I know some people, when I moved back home, I was looking at houses before I built this house. They were doing 2x4 construction, and the studs were every 20 inches or 24. They were trying to skimp on the quality, and you can't see that. You have to know to ask those questions. So I think you guys are going to, could be something like that. You're going to be like, oh, I'm glad that fell through, because now that I know what I know, it's for the best. And this is a beautiful new opportunity. It's interesting. On the back is more like a courtyard, and the front is more of a city. So some of you may want to move to the city. You may work at a new office in a city. It's beautiful. It reminds me of more European architecture than American. So a new health routine, remember we had that emperor at the bottom of the deck. It's like you almost make these opportunities happen. Sometimes they come out of nowhere, but often you have to stack the deck. So, you know what I mean? Be a good worker in your job, even if you hate it. Be a good worker in your job, so that you can get a good recommendation to get a better job. You know what I mean? That's setting yourself up for future success. Right in the middle, we have this high priestess, and I love the high priestess. I'll show you both sides. So here's her in the front. The black and white's reminding me of Game of Thrones because I'm obsessed with Game of Thrones. And then the back is this view. So the perspective from behind her. Two keys. There are keys now in the back of this. Is there a key in the, I don't think there was a key in the back of the Emperor. I don't think so. Huh. So, I mean, this is a card about intuition, about really listening to your gut. So again, we were talking about that facade situation, like listen to your intuition. If something about something, let's just go with the theme. This could be anything, but this could be dating someone, like something's not right here. Like don't ignore the red flags. If you're out shopping for real estate or a new place to live, if something doesn't feel right, listen to your intuition. And that can be said for anything in life, to really, and it's really hard to follow your gut sometimes. She has a nod on the front to the Justice card. So conduct yourself in the manner so that the karma which comes back to you is good. Don't, if you find out some sort of, that there's been some sort of dishonesty or things are not as they seem, don't stoop to their level. We can only control ourselves, right? Oh, and then you have this Knight of Wands. So this is what I call the honeymoon period card. So things are really picking up for you. This is passion ignited. This is just like, you start dating someone and you can't keep your hands off each other. This can be a honeymoon period in a job where everything seems great. Just remember, it's not always sustainable. I mean, this fire has erupted here. It's kind of cool. It's making, is that like some sort of creature, maybe a phoenix? I'm not sure. But it can't stay, that lit. So managing expectations when this card comes up, here's this hottie on the front, is important with this card. Just remembering, being able to sustain the honeymoon period in almost any situation is unrealistic. So, but that's why you want there to be substance, because once all the excitement's gone, there has to be substance there to still keep your interest and things like that. So some of you definitely though, meeting someone, it's like something has to end. You have to let go of something in some area. And once you free yourself, it's like you're happier, you're bringing in new beginnings, you're motivated, you're enthusiastic, like you're excited to move forward. You're really embracing something new, a new way of life. We have the sweet, sweet Six of Cups. One thing about the Six of Cups, I'll show you both sides. One interpretation of the Six of Cups is nostalgia. So be careful if things aren't going 100% awesome, that you don't have one little setback at the new job or with the new person, and be like, oh, the old situation was so great, and remember things better than they were, that things were better than they were. So that's just one caution. But this card is really a sweet card about someone from your past could come back. That now, if you guys like had a real breakup, I don't know. Like you guys broke up for a reason. But if it was like the timing was off, or you both were with people and now you've reconnected and you're both single, like that type of situation. Some of you could literally be moving back to your hometown or into your house you grew up in, or something like that, moving closer to home. It's kind of a creeper. This guy's like looking down at them. Could could be careful if you have a controlling parent of someone new you're dating. Be very it's something to think about. I have had relationships with guys who have had very dysfunctional families with very controlling parents, especially a father, and they had issues. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. I think someone needed to hear it. Then you have this beautiful sun card. This could be the sun, vitality. It could be a son, a child. So we have two child cards here. So some of you may be getting pregnant. If you don't want to get pregnant, think about that. Someone you meet could have a child. But this is really like, I mean, these two together, it's like any sort of dark night of the soul from this tower situation. Like, you move on, you take charge, you see it for what it is, you see the wisdom, and you move on. You're not sitting around being resentful or why did it happen, or really you're like seeing the opportunity, like, yep, you know what, that needed to go, and I'm gonna move forward and live my best life. These two cards really are just like, you're motivated, you have energy, you're seeing the opportunity that the tower, in the wake of the tower, and you're just like, this is, hey, this was for the best, and I'm charging forward. And you end with the marriage card, the solid foundation card, again, a card of home. So there's a strong home theme for some of you, and that could, play out differently. And that's the other side, in case you're curious. And there's a dove, there's peace, there's a solid foundation. So this is literally the opposite of this tower card. That's a facade. This means this is the four pillars, the strong foundation for which to a stepping stone to the next milestone. You're slowly building and building and building on a strong foundation. There are grapes. There's fruit, or I can't really see, wisteria, grapes, I can't tell. The lighting's bad. I think they're grapes. Here's the sun again. The sun's out. So you're really going to be feeling charged, new beginning, a new lease on life. Sexy, like virile, like vitality, aha moments, like the wisdom. So you started out with this Hierophant, like, what's the wisdom in the situation? And it's like, you got it. You got your aha moment here in the sun, your moment in the sun. So some of you may really, it's interesting. Here's a tower in the background of this too. And that looks like a solid tower to me. I mean, it's hard to tell. There's a wall. Of course, because I'm obsessed with Game of Thrones. It's like the Watchers on the Wall. Huh. And there's the eye. So I feel, too, like a real spiritual breakthrough that really helps you to find peace and happiness and perspective. Friendship. Stability. Okay, let's move on, because this is getting to be a really long reading. I wanted to keep them short. So let's do a quick love reading, shall we? All right, there are three right there. King of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. Here's the Knight of Wands again. Honeymoon period. So you guys really could be swept up in a love affair, or something is really going to have you fired up and determined in a really positive way. So the Queen of Wands is here. She is motivated, enthusiastic. She doesn't, when she has a goal and she's focused, she's able to stay determined and motivated right to the end. She sees it through to the end. This guy doesn't always, but with the energy of both of these together, nothing's going to stop you Whatever has fired you up, nothing is going to stop you. And it's solid. So this is not the typical Wands energy of a huge burst of energy and then fizzling out. This is slow, and it's combined with slow and steady wins the race, with a solid foundation, with groundedness. So if you are meeting someone, it is sustainable and there for the long haul. Just don't ignore any red flags. So just because the first person you meet may not be this person, so don't ignore any red flags. And someone, I mean, it may not be exactly fair. If you're looking for someone new, is coming in, and it's going to be something that truly lights up your life. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great February. Bye.